Alright, guitar at there with a scratchy pot as usual. So what have I got hanging around my neck now? Well, this here is a 1995 Fender Eric Clapton Signature. One of the original models with the three lace sensors, the three gold lace sensor pickups. It'll come as a massive shock to all of you to find that in between the Firebird, which I bought Christmas Day 1999, and this thing, which I bought midway through 2001, I didn't buy a single guitar. I was looking at my spreadsheet where I keep a record of all my guitar collection and the dates I bought them on. Yes, I do have OCD, of course I have OCD, I'm a guitar nerd. Anyhow, I didn't buy a single guitar in the year 2000. I remarked on this to my wife and she said, yes, of course you didn't buy any guitars in the year 2000, there weren't any left. Basically there weren't any bargains left. All the old stock that had been brought in before the ringgit went from like 2.5 to the US dollar to 3.8 to the US dollar had been sold, and all of a sudden guitars that had previously cost, 3, 4, 5,000 ringgit were now costing 7, 8, 9, 10,000 ringgit, and it wasn't it wasn't fun anymore. But anyhow, there's a funny little store hidden away in Sungai Wang. That means river of money, by the way. Hidden away in Sungai Wang shopping mall in the middle of KL, called Chambers Music. And they're not really a dealer for anything, but they've got all sorts of odds and sods in there. And this was hidden away in a corner. And I'd been wanting to get myself another Fender for quite some time. And this one was at a decent price. And I think I got it for 5,500 ringgit, which is about what they were MRSP in the USA. And here's another of my bugbears. It doesn't seem to happen so much anymore, but you look at the price of guitars in the USA and they have a manufacturer's recommended selling price, and you know damn well that the street price is 60, 70, 75% of that. Well, unfortunately for the rest of the planet, what the dealers do is basically go, oh well, the MRSP is X, we'll sell them for X plus 10%. So basically you're paying nearly twice as much for a bloody guitar out in this part of the world as you are in the States. And it's really damned annoying. Anyhow, this here is one of the original, well, not one of the originals, because the originals came out in, what, 88? Anyhow, this is one of the first style of Clapton's Signature, which has got the 7-up green body, the slightly V'd neck profile here, 22 frets instead of 21 as you have on a vintage reissue Strat, 3 gold lace sensor noiseless pickups, and of course the Clapton circuit in here. So you've got a preamp in here which is powered off a 9-volt battery that sits in the trem, a little extra root out in the trem cavity in the back. And ordinary volume, the tone controller's got a center detent, which is pretty much where it would be if the tone was on 10 on a passive tone control, and then if you go up from there, you're adding more treble with the preamp, and if you go down from there, you're cutting the treble. And then the special ingredient is this part here, which instead of being a second tone control, is a mid boost. And I think you get up to 15 dBs of mid boost on there. And it was put in there at Clapton's insistence because he wanted to get the Strat to sound a bit more like it had humbuckers in it. Originally, this guitar came with a blocked off trem. Clapton always cranked his, never used the trem, so he basically cranked the tailpiece back, flush to the body, maxed out the adjustment on the claw in the back so that the trem was basically solidly into the guitar, almost like a hardtail. And in addition to this, on this model of guitar, they actually blocked off the trem with a piece of wood. Now, what happened with this guitar, I kept it like that for many years, and then one day I hauled the guitar out of its case and there was something rattling around in the back. It was the piece of wood had actually come unglued and come loose. Thank you, Malaysian climate. So I thought, well, what shall I do? Well, what the hell, I use the trem anyway, so I basically did the trem setup on it. I pulled out 2 of the 5 springs, loosened the claw off. I haven't got it set to float, but I've got it so you can get a down bend on it. So if I just hit a chord, so you've got a bit of downplay on that. So anyhow, after all that nattering, what's it sound like? Well, I've gone onto the clean channel. Here's the neck pickup. Good old A minor chord. So what about the mid boost? Well, if I crank that up while the chord's ringing, you'll hear that. And as you can hear, with the mid boost fully engaged, it's pushing the clean channel of this Laney into overdrive territory. And that was in fact the middle pickup, sorry. What am I playing at? Okay, here's the neck pickup. Crank up the mid boost. And you hear it's pushing the clean channel into overdrive there. Pull off the mid boost, go to neck and middle. Why am I playing a Dire Straits riff with an Eric Clapton guitar? Ah, well, you see, nice little nerdy fact for you. At the concert they had in 1980 something, which I think was a concert for Nelson Mandela in Wembley Stadium in the UK. Dire Straits recruited Eric Clapton to play rhythm guitar. They said, oh well, we need a rhythm guitarist, you've got to find who you've got to use who you can find, haven't you? So we got this bloke. He can play a bit. Alright, middle pickup. Middle and bridge. And the bridge on its own. And of course, unlike a standard Strat, I can actually roll some of that treble off. And if you push that tone control all the way up, you get a lot brighter. The idea behind having that treble boost is that when you've got the mid boost in, you can actually get some of that top end sparkle back. Okay, so I'll take the mid boost back off again. Go back to the crunch channel. And let's play Spot the Clapton Please Sheet. Going on it, Eric. Go back to the middle and bridge. Middle on its own. Middle and neck. sound. And there's a nasty little crack there as I roll the volume off, because as usual the Malaysian climate kills guitars. Anyhow, there we go. A 1995 Fender Eric Clapton signature in 7-up green. See you later.